Read the disclaimer. Hello everyone, and for this video, we've got some of the craziest shit I ever woke up to for Beyblade news. Takara has revealed a new Beyblade X release, which is Aero Pegasus 3-70A. While not much is known about this release, I thought for this video, I'll kind of give my thoughts because Pegasus is back. If you have noticed the specific trend that Beyblade X seems to do, it seems that, for an example, with most of Team Pendragon, pretty much being all of Pendragon, each one of them is a reference to Bakuten Shoot Beyblade. So for an example, Cobalt Drake, eventually Cobalt Dragoon to Dragoon, Black Shell to Jerseal, and then after Weiss Tiger to Drigger. So I'm kind of curious if, let's say, the main rival team to Persona, are they gonna just have a reference each generation? Like now we have a reference to the Metal Fight generation. Are we gonna have also a reference to the Burst generation? That's what's going to be a little bit interesting to kind of see. I don't think I see any MFB logo reference in the design, so I don't think this is a reference to specifically Pegasus from the Metal Fight generation, but it looks like so nice visually. In terms of shape, if you were to do a simple, actually, let's just talk about the design itself. It has some very, very nice blend of colors. It looks so, so good. It reminds me of like Heaven Pegasus, and I guess they're just going with the trend of like these very nice, like teal, kind of like bluish colors, and it looks super, super good, especially for a UX blade. I really like how they look visually in this. Like, it's very just like eye-catching. Now, in terms of part of the other stuff, we do kind of see a little bit of the side profile that's like, for a few seconds, the colors on it do feel very weird, to say the least. But in terms of the shape, this kind of reminds me very, very closely, and obviously you're going to have similarities, similar to that of Phoenix Wing, how that was close to Galaxy Pegasus. This one feels very, very close to Galaxy Pegasus. We don't have a perfect side profile, but I do suspect that unless this thing is carried by a weight, which I assume it has to be, I'm not too sure about the shape on this. I know we have to get a little bit more visually. We're going to find out more information on the upcoming Koro, so that's always going to be fun to see what news and information we can get out of that. But yeah, man, I'm very excited for this, to say the least. It just looks... So I want to kind of go over this important section, which is the idea of the shape, because I kind of just mentioned this. While we don't have much to go by, I can kind of just explain bays that have had similar shape and kind of their history. So obviously, you know, the original Metal Fight's Galaxy Pegasus. So the thing is with Galaxy Pegasus is that the fusion wheel is really bad. Like, Galaxy looks really nice, but it performs very terribly. Those contact points just do not work for its shape and its design. And while I don't think, per se, that this Aero Pegasus is probably the exact same shape, if it's anything close to that, which is probably what we'll get to in a moment, I'm not too confident. Even that of, like, Storm, unless this thing is going to be bolstered by, like, a lot of heavy weight. Galaxy's issue was the shape wasn't good and the weight wasn't good, so you pretty much had it where it was kind of shit in both departments, and it wasn't really that good of a fusion wheel for actual competitive performance, so then after no one really ended up using it. Now, on the other side of the aisle, you have a blade that is a little bit different. Now, Phoenix Wing is a blade that probably is very, very close to the Galaxy Fusion Wheel in shape, and the big difference here, Phoenix Wing is super, super heavy. So the benefit in that is that because you're super, super heavy, you can kind of get away with any shape possible. That's pretty much how Beyblade X kind of is. A lot of times, Beys just don't have that good of shapes, and they just manage to get carried quite a bit in their actual performance, and then after that leads to like a big, big difference when it's going to be coming to like anything with battles. So for an example, like Cobalt Drake is like probably the shape of it, I would say, is kind of bad. It's not really that good. Cobalt Drake has been like super, super hard carried by weights for any real relevancy at all, to be honest, because if it didn't have the weight, it would be really, really bad. So that's what like the truth is for like a lot of these sort of like painted blades, at least so far. It's like the track record of quite literally just having it be not good for the shape, but the weight kind of carries it, so then after the meta shifts greatly for it. One other thing to mention is kind of the previous Pegasus that we kind of got. This was in burst with Heaven Pegasus, and then kind of touch on this a little bit, but Heaven Pegasus was cool visually, but it was like so easy to burst, to kill and destroy. I need a Pegasus. Like, if they're gonna do a Pegasus, and I know this is probably not a literal homage to Metal Fight, at least I can't prove that yet, I just hope I can do a lot better than that, because, dude, Heaven was a very disappointing release. Like, there was some limited use on it, but I didn't really like it that much. It's something that just looks very exciting visually, and I gotta say, every time I see one of these new Bays, I'm very much hyped. I assume, most likely, it's not confirmed, this has to be some rare Bay Get Battle shit, but I would love to see, like, I don't know if we could still take, no, I feel like we could. We could get, maybe, no, because there's already Lay on Claw, but now there's gonna be a Lay on Claw, there's gonna be a defense one, so is that like our Leon reference? Are we gonna get like a Sagittario reference? Are we gonna get an El Drago reference to it? I'm very curious about this. I'm very curious about this. None else to say that Beyblade X has been developing to be something very, very exciting, so any new information, this really just took me off guard for the morning. I don't really think there's much else to go over, aside from the fact that it looks cool, but I don't suspect the performance will be too crazy. I also do think this has to be a rare Bay Get battle, because they are reusing XL and 370, and it's painted, and Cobalt Drake's just reused the Hell's Scythe of 460 and the flat of Drawn Sword, so reusing the Hell's Hammer of 370 and the XL of Drawn Buster. I feel it's probably going to make some sense. So, I mean, one thing I'm maybe thinking about is potentially for the future, maybe if this is a rare Bay, this could finally replace Cobalt Drake, and then after, maybe they could finally reprint Drake. We could finally see it in the hands of TT or Hasbro. Finally get a Drake. But yeah, please, if you are new here, subscribe to the channel and comment your thought. Make sure to check out mallofbays.com because of the fact that we have done a major restocking, restocked a lot on some of that UX battle set stuff. Some stuff is separate. We have a lot of the blue Drawn Sword, and probably maybe a bunch of other stuff. Plus, don't forget, as we are approaching this coming week, there's going to be more information from the Koro, and with that, probably the August pre-orders that we're going to be kind of going over, so that's going to be a little bit exciting. So make sure to keep your eye out this coming week, because it is an optional way to support the channel. I appreciate any supports regardless. I do want to also mention we have our Amazon affiliate link, because if you want to get Hasbro Beyblade X products, that is another optional way to support the channel. If you just search Amazon Zankye Influencer, you'll probably find it if I don't just have a visual up of it now. But yes, I appreciate any supports regardless. Either way, I do get a little bit of commission if you use the Amazon stuff, so I appreciate it. And yeah, this is it was a fun news video to do, but not really much else to say. So thank you all for watching. Have an amazing day. Take care and bye.